Hi there, welcome to Why Buy Features, and in this behind the scenes series we're going to be looking at techniques, equipment, things that we did to film these product reviews. And if you're new to the Director program, hopefully this will give you some insight and answer some questions.
Hey everybody, welcome to Why Buy.
So right off the bat we have the introductory sequence, and in our videos the only scripted sequences really at the beginning and the end are, hey everybody, welcome to Why Buy. Today we're going to be talking about this product, and the outro being thanks for watching, which is, if you thought this video was helpful, please like and subscribe, show your support, and thanks for watching. So right off the bat at 7 seconds here, I just want to point out that the introductory plate is so important when you're setting up your shot, in that if you can get the product that's being featured in the video and the customer in the frame, it's like an instant boom, there's what the viewer is looking for. They search for it, bam. So in this case we have the tent set up with the car in the background, and he's in the foreground. So I'm just going to stop at 16 seconds. So this montage sequence, it's a good example of how your customer might be able to help you create your video. What's great about this footage that the customer provided is that they changed camera angles. So not only was it a static shot of the setup of the tent, but they actually put the camera inside the cab of the vehicle. So they're already thinking ahead of this being a product review. And this phone footage that was captured, now the gimbal that it's attached to had like a color graded setting. So you could see it's kind of like overexposed. This tent, which is actually blue, is showing up purple. And that's just the way it was recorded from the raw footage. So there's a problem in that, that's kind of what you're stuck with without doing a lot of work in post-production. But what we ended up doing here is just including it in the introductory montage, just kind of like a stylized thematic version. And so, there's always a way to utilize the footage, even if the raw footage is compromised like this.
With the hatchback tent, you can do that. We actually set it up so we can sleep inside the cab. We keep all of our storage, all of our clothes, suitcases, all that stuff in the tent, and actually sleep inside the cab of the SUV with the seats down. And
you can see here the way the sun is positioned in the day. We shot this midday with the sun directly overhead, and there's two issues with that. One, the lighting is just terrible. Most things look flat. You have to work really hard to give things depth and perspective, and the customer sitting directly in the sunlight throughout the whole interview. So just be mindful in that, if you are shooting in the middle of the day, make sure you have lots of water, and just be mindful of the customer who's sitting in the sun. And we always suggest, if you can, if at all possible, shoot, if it's outside, shoot in the morning or in the evening when you're getting that sunrise, sunset. It just looks a lot better.
When we bought it, what issues we were going to run into, the big one we first hit was just trying to put an air mattress into the back of the cab. And the issue with the air mattresses is they're actually pretty thick. They're 4 or 5 inches.
So I'm just going to stop it there at 1:40. One thing I really like about our videos, and this is something that you'll see, is the application-based examples are just as important as the product's features and benefits. So he's talking about how in a real-world scenario, when they tested this out, they needed air mattresses inside the cab. Has nothing to do with the tent, but in a real-world application, yeah, you're going to need mattresses in the bed of the SUV to sleep on, but careful on which ones you buy because you're going to be so close to the ceiling. One thing that I wish we would have had is footage of them lying with their noses, so close to the roof. But sometimes you're going to have limitations like that where you can't get those shots. But yeah, I just encourage you to be creative in your B-roll, in that, if you see an opportunity, even if it's something comedic, yeah, try and get that shot.
Other people or wildlife when you are sleeping. Here you do have the security of your car. You can close the hatch all the way.
You can hear it faintly, but there was a car passing in the background. So what's funny about this shot is that where we were set up, we were actually on a main road in a park. So it just made it easier to park the vehicle and set up the cameras and stuff, you know, with the trees in the background. But the problem that we kept running into is that it was a busy day at the park. There's all these vehicles driving by constantly, and it was a nightmare to try and get the dialogue where there was just no background noise of traffic driving by. And it made the shoot longer than it needed to be. It was cumbersome. So when you pick your locations to film, just be mindful of, you know, the surrounding elements, you know, in this case, traffic, which, you know, would have showed up in a lot of the dialogue had we been less patient and just recorded anyways. So yeah, just keep in mind the surrounding elements.
Issue trying to get the interior lights to shut off when we had the hatchback open, and with our car, it was just a matter of you had to actually lock the car with.
Because we have a small monitor for the camera, we didn't catch it all the time, and you can see at 2 minutes 56 seconds, he's holding his cell phone in his hand because he's got notes on there that he's following. And the issue with that is that it takes the viewers out of the video, and you'll see occasionally that comes up into frame. So, you know, it's fine. You can have your phone as a customer, you know, for your notes, but you know, just as a videographer, just make sure that, you know, that kind of stuff doesn't quite make it in.
If you've ever camped in the rain, you'll probably attest to, you know, waking up and feeling damp and cold, and you know that kind of is not the issue anymore with this, being able to sleep in your cab. This comes with a great fly. It comes with it.
I wish we had more B-roll for this product review. It's one thing that, you know, there's a lot of instances that he's discussing in this case. He's talking about the rain and how effective it is at repelling it, and how a little bit does get in. You know, we've had viewers comment saying, well, how much rain? Like, what are we talking about here? Because when the customer is describing it subjectively, for viewers, it doesn't give a lot of context as to what they mean exactly. So unless they can articulate it very well, which this customer does, he, you know, goes in to explain that it's not a big deal or whatever. It's just always nice to have that B-roll footage. So just something to be mindful of as the story is being told. As much as there is dialogue to help viewers, we want to have visual context for that as well. So, you know, that might help you in the editing process if you are in a position where you're deciding what to cut and what to keep.
Also, it's got a nice, right at the top of the roof, a nice place to hang a lantern, so you can actually have it like a lit up room at night. It's really nice. When
he talked about hanging a lantern from the ceiling of this thing, I'm like, oh, that's really cool. Like, I bet you people would like to see that, but we didn't have any B-roll of it. So take your time if you're looking through supplemental footage that you didn't film. You might just find this was just right at the last second of the clip before the cell phone was turned off from recording. There's the shot. There's the lantern hanging from the roof, and it's like, yes, got it. And even though something like that might take a while, it's those little visuals that they really go a long way for viewers who are trying to understand, you know, what it's like to own these products.
And then underneath the roof, you put in the 4 poles to hold the roof up. But yeah, it's just a matter of, you know, quickly putting in the roof bars and then quickly putting in the side bars.
When a customer is talking about a process or something that they did, they may do it like this, where they're sitting down and just talking about it, and then the B-roll kind of illustrates that. But one thing you might want to consider doing is have them act out the motions, if they can, as they're talking about it. So he's talking about connecting tent poles and putting on elastic around the vehicle and then these straps. Alternatively, we could have shot this where he was doing that himself, and as he's constructing it, kind of like a how-to, he's talking about it at the same time. Would make for a more interesting video and, you know, help the audience follow along, but you know, either way works. It's just use your judgment on the day of filming.
Open it more if it's in the middle of the summer to cool off. So if you thought this video was helpful, please like and subscribe, show your support, and thanks for watching.
So yeah, that's it. There's the outro. You know, if you thought this video was helpful, please like and subscribe, show your support. Really the only scripted sequences we have in our videos, because we do want that authenticity, that genuine story, and that's probably the only part where, you know, you get tripped up on the day of filming. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's I think for a lot of these outdoor types of products, the biggest challenges you're going to run into is wind, and, you know, not being able to control the elements outside. So if you have, you know, a microphone with a dead cat, or if you can try and record the audio in a place that's more sheltered. So like in this area here where we filmed, there was a lot of trees that kind of blocked the wind from coming through, so we didn't get a lot of spikes and fraps that the mic was picking up. And you know, it's really tough to control lighting as well. That's why I think what's always best is, like we shot it here, we did Dialog in one take, just boom, same plate, and we just kind of got through it. And then we did all the B-roll sequences afterwards, so that, you know, we had the lighting consistent. Yeah, it's all in all, you know, there's a sequence here at the end for bloopers, you know, outtakes and extras after the end credits logo that we do if we have.
Oh my God, what's he doing?
Excuse me, we're just trying to get a shot here. Oh, thank you.
Where you see someone, just a passerby, not even notice the camera and the customer sitting there. He just goes up to the tent and starts, you know, peeking into it, to what's going on. And that was kind of funny that, you know, just a interesting moment that happened. But yeah, that's really about it. So that concludes this episode's behind-the-scenes look at the Napier Sports Dome to Go hatchback tent. Oh, what a mouthful that was. Thanks for watching.
Let's talk about the Napier Sports to Go Dome. What the Dome to Go hatchback tent? Sports Dome to Go hatchback tent. I'm just gonna say hatchback tent.